Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube series of understanding all about JWT. Here we have already covered almost 90% of the uh, uh, content for this topic. Right now we are just touching the last part almost. This is where we are trying to understand the components which are very special to create the pages specifically, which is not part of understanding JWT, but it's still we need to understand that how they are getting handled in the repo, so that when you are trying to understand the repository in your local system, to understand the whole concept, how these pages are secured and how JWT is utilized, you need to have some idea on this component, right? So for that reason, I'm just trying to make you understand this component, because if okay, no, because it's like, just if you have learned any React application and you built a lot of React application or maybe a lot of components, you are already familiar with all of the components concept, right? So I'm not going to explain how components gets built. What I will explain is simply the components here used for the 4 pages, and that's it. So that will be our requirement, and one more we'll be doing yeah, I just recalled it, right? There is something called refresh token endpoint, which we were not able to show you in the previous, I don't know which number of video, but there we talked about, like, we will try to understand the concept of refresh token, how refresh token is getting utilized using cookie. So we will pass cookie from the postman, and then we will receive the refresh access token that we are going to do. So with the help of our website, of course, because somehow postman was not able to send, was not able to give the response of cookie. If you know already, you can let me know how to do that. Okay, I've not searched that, so let's try to understand directly to go for every part of it. So yeah, there is one statement I just wanted to, this whatever we are going to understand, the hero is already explained. The hero of this whole concept, like JWT concept, already explained in the MyAxios instance. That's the hero of this whole React application. The MyAxios component where we created for an interceptor we created, that's the hero of this, and rest all are supporting characters. So I have not explained supporting character. They had lot of struggles in their development, but this is about just the hero JWT, not about React, not about Node, not about JavaScript, not about the concept others, right? So let's jump to the first component we are going to understand is register component. So we have register component. Why we have register component? Because we have here a register form which you will fill out. Let's say we are going to make test 5, creating test 5, and right now we are going to click the register. When you click this register button, hit that enter, then what happens, that we are going to understand. So for that, let's try to go to component function. Here we have register component. If you see, this is the register component here. Now this register component, we have handled some errors which is not part. You can explore it by yourself. I will not explain that. So I will skip this lot of states for error handling we have created. Now navigate is again use navigate is for used for navigation part. Like when you click this link, then you need to navigate to the other part of the page, right? So for that reason we have used that. Coming to this register part, this is the hook. We have already explained what this does is it calls the register API. So when you hit this register button, this API needs to be called. How this will be called? This will use this trigger function to call it. We have must use somewhere else here. If you see here, we are calling this hook trigger function with the values. So this name, username and password will be obtained from here, and that will be passed to this trigger function, which eventually will go to this hook which is called useauth. Inside that we have this trigger defined. This will trigger the endpoint, register endpoint. So I will not explain this hook because we have already understood or explained in the earlier parts of the video. Coming to this, let me try to move ahead as quick as I can. So this is just for setting the, yeah. Here, when this component gets loaded, we are setting this use register to be false, so that this is the new register going to happen. So right now this is no new register is false, but we will be making it true once this register is success. So when you click this and your registered API response, you will so let me just try to explain this by typing this. When you hit this button, this will get called. Where is that? On click. If you see, this is the function, right? These are the, yeah, this is the on click. So if you go to this handle function, here we are saying that call the register trigger, and this will take the username and password and will call the hook, and that's how you get a response. Where you get response? You get response here. So we must be using this. So if this response, whenever is first of all, we are checking that registration is done and it is not duplicate. All right, so this duplicate will be checked here, and then we will see that if this newly registered, which I'm going to register this user name, if it is already registered or not. If it is not, then it will, this duplicate value will have false in that, and we are checking that only. Okay, now setting that there is no error in that case, and then we are setting that authentication part, whether this is newly registered. Yes, this, when you click here and if this is success, this test for is a newly registered, right? That's why we're setting this flag to auth. Now you remember this set auth is a part of the overall context of this application, which we are in which we are wrapping this all components, right? That's how when you set this is newly registered, then it will be available to anywhere in the component. So we'll check that inside the login page, so that we will show the user that you are successfully new registered, and now please log in. You can see, say something like message something like that, right? If you do login with old user, you should not have that greeting, right? In that case, this will be false. That's why we are setting this flag as true. Now once you register, we want that if this is successful registered, then we want user to redirect to the login page. That's why this navigation is there. So let's try to do that. We click that, this is disabled, and till it gets oh, username is taken, please try other. All right, then we will try some other value, 5, let's say 5, and then let's try to register this one. I hope this is not, yeah, we are registered successfully, and this message you got because you have set this flag which we are checking inside login page. So you got this successful message, and now you got redirected to login page. So this is all about this page, and rest all are very basic stuff, what the components created and this text field and all. Just to give you a highlight on this point, that you can see that text field, multiple text field you can see. I could have reused this, I mean creating a single component and just importing them here instead of creating multiple text field here. But anyway, I was so lazy to do that, but I hope you won't mind. You will create by yourself a separate component text field, and then don't repeat the code in production the way I have repeated here. Okay, awesome. Moving forward, let's try to understand now login. So component register is done. Let's try to understand now login. It's the same again, some setting, navigation used, and this is again the API which we are going to call the login API using this custom hook, which is use login, already explained in the previous tutorials. Here is a trigger which we are going to. Now let's try to understand when you hit the login button. When you hit the login button, you will get this to this handle submit button, where we are saying that is login form valid. So we're just basing authentication, validation going on. You can read it out later on, and checking whether this is false or not. Setting this is false. Once this registration is done, you want it to make it false, so that next time this page gets reloaded with a very old user, then this message will not be appearing. That's why I'm setting it to false. Not required to explain, but explained anyway. Login. Now here you are triggering the actual API. Here you are sending this username and password so that you can log in it. Now this one will trigger the hook written here inside this use auth, this login. Okay, using that endpoint, and it will get called. So moving back to the same component login, here that got called. Now you see that once that response is there, see this login, we are checking this. While this is login, we are saying that set login disabled. Okay, while this login process API call is in process, we are disabling it. Okay, now after that we must have received this response. When you API call is got success, this will be having the value. If it is error, this will have the value. So error we are handling here, set logging error, and then you go ahead and understand that. But we are mostly interested in this data part. We are saying that if user exists, it means that logged user is existing and user is valid. Then we are saying that just consoling alert for debugging purpose, and then set auth is we are set. Here is the very important part. I would say this function is very important. Once this button is pressed, test, we just created, let's say 5, test 5, and then once you hit that button, API response will be obtained, and that response is saying that, hey, user is successfully is existing. Then let's log in the user. And how we are doing that? We are setting this auth so that this information that user is logged in will be available to all the components. For that reason, as soon as this user is getting response with success login, we are setting this data that it's not newly registered. We have to make it, right? Because this is already registered, so we will make two. The key part is this to value. Is login is to set that everywhere you can fetch and check whether you use login or not. That's why we are setting this is login to true and false. JWT key is important part where we are saying that this is existing and you use that in throughout the application. That's why this also gets set here. After that, we also need to make sure that whatever response we got, since this JWT token and is login, when you refresh this page, if after login, when you refresh this page, this will automatically get empty, right? It will be reset to the very initial value. But you don't want to lose your API token, excess API token, even after refreshing the page. That's why we need to set this to local storage. So after login, you receive two things. One is access token, another is refresh token. Access token we are getting received inside the React application, but refresh token is not, because refresh token is only used for use of server. That's why browser will not allow you to share this with this front-end script because of the HTTP only parameter we have set in the server side for the cookie. Now that gets stored here inside the cookie. After, so if I just want to delete this, let me just delete this for you guys. So what will happen, that there is no cookie here inside this, and let's try to check here. There is nothing in local storage. It means user is not logged in. If there is nothing here, it means user is not logged in. If there is this may be existing, but maybe token must be expired. Okay. Now when I hit this button login, this will set that inside local storage, so that after reloading this page, even after that, we will be able to fetch this from the token, access token will fetch from this local storage, and then we can use in the app to validate that whether user is logged in or not. Okay, so let's do that. When you click this, and after that you click, you will be redirected to the page where it is dashboard instead of top hackers. Okay, we are just redirecting to the dashboard because that's the first thing we show, right? No, a dashboard is just not the one which is secured. It's open for anonymous user as well. So let's try to hit this button and we will see that what response we will be getting. So I hope this user exists. Yep, this exists. And if you see the response here, you are getting this true, user exists, and token is this one. This is your access token, which is now you must be able to find here inside the storage. If you see, this is the same token which you received inside this network tab here. Now request, the response does not have any cookie here, so you can see here that cookie thing, whether this you received or not. Set cookie. See here you can see that this token is this refresh token is obtained, and now this token is stored in this refresh token is stored inside this here. So you compare, you will find that. You can do it by yourself. Even Chrome or Firefox, anywhere you can find it, no issue. No, it's not browser specific. Any browser will have these all values. Coming to the ultimate understanding, so navigation is done. This is got navigation. So I hope you understood that how this login component is working. And home is very basic. This is the home page where pictures are loading. It's a very small component. You are just listing the image every time. So this image list we have created, not created, we got from Metal UI, already created for us, and just passing this image URL so that we can show this as a home page. So home page is done. Now login is done, register is done. Let's go to app bar. App bar is the one which we see here. This one is very having this 2 pages mostly. Since user is logged in, so you will be able to see this, and there is logout button. These two are same as this one. This logout button is present so that user can log out itself. So we'll try to understand what is logout means here. So I won't explain this my app bar for you guys, because it's very React stuff and UI stuff. You will be able to understand it very easily if you know React. And so let's try to understand some very basic thing. Is like, if you see there are multiple codes written for the same case, is like just for this case. If it is small, then you go for, if it is medium, then flexible it is. If it is for a small width of the screen, then this component will be loading. That's what it is actually defining, nothing else. If you simply want to inspect and just go for mobile view, you will see some different value. So this is just this what you say, this flex component is basically for that. Okay, flex part in this box component is basically defining that whether in which screen size what we need to show and what not. So in case of this SX, if it is 6 SX, then you simply display none for medium and flex for small. Very basic stuff. I don't want to go inside that, so you will be able to understand for sure. Now here we are saying that if it is logged in or not. If user is logged in, then only we are showing this page, this whatever it is. That's where this. Remember, I told you that is login flag will be available to all of the application inside, wrapped inside the app wrapper. So this is available right now. So that's why we are able to make sure that in any component that check whether user is logged in or not. That's where this flag is able to help us, that whether we can show this functionality of logout when user is logged in and not when user is not logged in. Awesome. Coming to logout functionality, when you have this, you can log out yourself, and let's try to find the logout thing. Yeah. So when this logout happens, so here this is a function where I'm handling that on each click, whatever you are going to click here, that will trigger this function. And if it is a logout, you clicked on logout, then what I'm doing is I'm making is login false, so that every where this is login flag or the state will be false, having false value, and I'm removing the local storage so that this will get removed. If you do log out, if I just log out, see this is got removed, which means that we are saying that please remove when you log out. Means if token is not present in the local storage, user is not logged in. That's the very basic funda I am using here. So after that you log out, if and that's it. There is nothing else going on here. Once you do log out, user will be redirected to login page. If you see, that's it, done. Now let's try to understand what is remaining here. So we found that login we understood, and we understood what is home component, app bar component already explained, one top hacker and top. Let's quickly understand what this means. This top hacker, it will not accessible right now, so let's try to log in. If I just log in, then it will be able to access it. So let's try to do that. See, this token got initialized and here we are able to access it, which means that we need to understand this. So if user has clicked on top hackers from here, then you navigate to /top hackers, and this app, it will check in the app.js that what component needs to load when top hackers is inside the path. So private route will be called with this top hackers. So inside this top hacker component, we have just created one. Let's try to one top hacker. This one top hacker component is nothing but this one component. How this is got built is explained here. This is the one top hacker, and index.js is like depending on number of users you got, top hackers you got here, accordingly this will be rendered here with the help of map. Let's say 4 top hackers are present, then render 4 one top hacker. That's how this is 4 right now. Okay, so I think we are clear with all this concept. Let's try to check the article here where we are right now. Now one extra thing is, just one small thing is remaining, is like understanding the R token concept here, right? So I promised you, and as promised, I will be explaining to you guys this one, like R token, how this R token is working. So R token is like getting a access token from server using cookie which has a refresh token. Now we need to pass a refresh token inside cookie, right? So if I just want to get a new access token using this R token endpoint, I'm not able to get that right now. If you see, the reason being is I have cookie set here in the here, which I am not able to see the cookie right now. I don't know why. Let me just set this cookie for you guys. If I just want to set, type a domain localhost, add a domain, and then add a cookie. So this is the way you can add a cookie. Now if I want to add a cookie, how I can do that? So if you see, this is the cookie which we can use to refresh that. So cookie value is this, and cookie name should be this. So I'm just setting it cookie, and the path is fine. Expired is not required here, although you can use that if you want. If I send it, I should be receiving that yes, the access token we got, right? So if the cookie or refresh token is valid and working, then you must be able to get that access token refreshed. The expired one got expired, and now you have a very new access token with you. So this is how you got the access token, and you save it in local storage by replacing the expired access token. So this is how I wanted to make you guys understand about this R token concept. And now I can say that we are good here. All right, then we are done with all explanation on JWT, all about JWT, and I hope this whole YouTube series with these articles, article 1, article 2, article 3, I mean one article only but in 3 parts, as well as this all YouTube series videos has already helped you to understand this JWT concept, as well as implementing by yourself by using React and Node has helped you to make it your feeling like you have built it by yourself, and it's really good feeling I had when I did that. So I want you guys to also feel that. Now after this is done, I hope I would like to simply say that if you have liked it and liked my work, please comment in the section, YouTube section, where you would like to add any words for me related to my work especially, and this will encourage me to create more technical stuffs, technical articles, as well as create more YouTube videos if you like my work, and then we will see how it goes further. So without one more thing, I just wanted you guys to do it. Just Google it, my name Javed, and then you attach infinite with it, infinite, and you Google it, and you must be seeing some the first link you will be receiving is this one. You just open it, and here you will be reached there. So if you don't remember my YouTube channel, if you don't remember any article written by me, you simply search Javed Infinite in the Google, and you will be reached here in javedinfinite.com platform, and you just go to article section. Right now only 2 articles are here. This 3rd article I'm going to add here after publishing this YouTube, this must be available here. And then in the YouTube section, I will update this YouTube section as well. These old videos are there, which is from college days. So for just anything. And then I just want you guys to say that thanks for watching, and thanks for precious time giving, and I hope you understood the concept. That's the ultimate goal I had. And till I create any other article, any technical stuffs for in the coming days or future, I'm so lazy, sorry about that. But till then, this is Javed Infinite signing off. Bye bye.